Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day so far. I want to start today with something a teacher told me. It's not a headline, not a study. It was a real conversation that I had with them. They told me their students' aptitude scores are dropping. They were very concerned. They're dropping right now in their classroom. And when I asked if the school district was doing anything about it, the answer was barely scratching the surface. We live in a world where the most powerful technology ever built is being handed to you without instructions, without warnings, and without anyone asking whether it serves you or uses you. That question has a name: the virtuous machine. I'm Michael Ruthier, and this is Tech for Grownups, the show that believes technology should answer to human beings, not the other way around. This is the show the tech industry doesn't want you to hear. No corporate talking points, no sponsored opinions, just honest conversation. Let's go. Now, that conversation, it really bothered me. And because if you have children, you understand that you would do anything for them. You would lay down your life for them. And you always want to give them the best life possible, better than what you had growing up. And when we were growing up, we didn't have all this tech, all this AI, or any of this. So I had to dig into this and look a little bit further of the effects on AI on our school age children. I'm not talking about college and above. I'm talking about grade school. And here's what researchers actually found, and this isn't a small study. Stockholm University and the University of Hong Kong tracked more than 26,000 middle and high school students over 30 months. AI use boosted homework scores by 18%. It cut homework time nearly in half. And on paper, that looks like success, because I do remember my children having just hours and hours of homework. And again, AI is making things efficient, right? But here's what happened next. Within 6 months, those same students' exam scores dropped 20%. And after 2 years, their entrance exam results collapsed. They were down 24% on one national exam and 18% on another. Now let that sink in. The better their homework looked, the worse they actually understood the material. And here's the detail that genuinely disturbed me. It wasn't the struggling student who fell the furthest. It was the top performers. Now, I know that took you by surprise as well. Their scores dropped 24%, worse than lower achieving students, because they leaned on AI hardest to chase the perfect answer. Think about that for a moment. Junior students with less oversight fell harder than older ones. Boys fell harder than girls, tied directly to heavier AI use. Now, as you know, and if you listen to prior episodes, I like asking you questions. And here's my first question for you. If the smartest kids in the room are the ones losing the most ground, what exactly does that tell us about what we're rewarding in our classrooms right now? I know what some of you are thinking. That's China. That's not us. I'm not worried about it. And you know what? I wish that were true. Rand Corporation surveyed American students directly, and nearly 7 in 10 middle and high schoolers now say they're worried AI is eroding their own critical thinking. Not adults worrying about kids. And so now, if you're a parent listening to this, it's not the parents talking about this. It's the kids themselves surrounding themselves with AI, using it, and now they're sounding the alarm on their own minds. That number climbed from 48% to 68% among middle schoolers in less than a year. And despite knowing this, they keep using it anyway because the pressure to keep up is stronger than the fear of falling behind in a different way. Now, before we continue, let's hear a word from today's sponsor, me. Quick question. Do you actually know what's quietly running on your phone right now? Most people don't. And that's exactly how spyware wants it. Invisible, silent, watching. But here's the good news. I put together a free spyware checklist built specifically for you that walks you through exactly what to look for, step by step. No tech degree required. 5 minutes. That's all it takes to check your own device and finally know for sure. The link is right there in the show notes. Download it, use it today, because peace of mind shouldn't cost you a thing. Now, back to the show. Neuroscientist Jared Cooney Horvath testified before the U.S. Senate that test scores suggest something we've never seen before. Gen Z may be the first, get that, the first generation less cognitively capable than their parents. And this isn't new. In 1924, a psychologist named Sidney Pressey built one of the first teaching machines, in 1924. And students got very good at using it. But the moment you took the machine away, they couldn't do the work anymore. They hadn't learned the subject. They learned the machine itself. Now, Horvath's own words on this should sit with you. The tools experts use to make their lives easier are not the tools children should use to learn how to become experts. When you use offloading tools as a novice, you don't learn the skill. You simply learn dependency. And that is exactly what's happening in classrooms right now, 100 years later, with far more powerful machines. And this isn't one isolated study either. A separate peer-reviewed study of over 300 students found that 68% frequently relied on AI for academic work, and 61% reported increased cognitive dependency and decreased problem-solving effort as a direct result. Another study found that increased AI use is directly linked to eroding critical thinking abilities, driven by something researchers call cognitive offloading, essentially letting the machine think so you don't have to. Now, here's my second question for you. If we already know this is happening, backed by real research, why is so little being done to stop it? Now, 84% of U.S. high school students now report using AI for homework. That number isn't slowing down. And yet the researchers behind the Chinese study asked an important question. Why hasn't there been stronger pushback against a decline this significant? Their answer should concern you. The damage builds slowly and invisibly. The average score only fell 3.4% in the first 2 years. It only became fully visible once adoption surged past 80%. In other words, by the time the damage is obvious enough for a school district to act, an entire generation has already gone through it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the impediment to action advances action. He believed struggle itself was where growth happened, and I believe that as well. Rand's own researchers describe this exact same idea in modern terms. They call it first draft thinking. That blank page, that math problem with no steps yet, that moment of friction where a student has to reach into their own mind and try. Now, AI removes that moment quietly, without anyone voting on it, without any parent signing a permission slip. And here's my third and final question for you today. If we remove every moment of struggle from a child's education, what exactly are we left with when that child grows up and struggle finds them anyway? Because it always does. So here's what I'm asking you to do, because fear without action is just noise. If you have children or grandchildren in school, ask their teachers directly what the AI policy actually is, not what it claims to be on paper. Push your local school board for real limits, not vague guidelines. Talk to the kids in your life about the difference between using AI as a tool and using it as a replacement for their own thinking. And if you're a teacher listening to this right now, know that your instincts, the ones telling you something is wrong, are backed by real data. You're not imagining this. This is Tech for Grown-ups. I'm not here to tell you AI has no place in the classroom, because that's not true. I'm here to make sure the next generation still knows how to think without it. Stay sharp, stay loud, and I will see you next week. Marcus Aurelius asked a question that I think about every time I sit down to record this show. What is it fundamentally that this thing is for? Not what it claims to be for. What is it actually for? That's the virtuous machine question, and it applies to every piece of technology being built right now. The AI, the algorithms, the platforms, all of it. You'll find everything from today's episode at techforgrownups.com. Join the conversation in the community. The link is there. Stay sharp, stay loud, and I'll see you in the next one.